Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the NTT Indycar Series here at wonderful Iowa Speedway, the fastest short track in the land. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Marco Barbonera, and we are getting ready to go live from this toasty hot track day of 102 degrees, 77 degrees in the here in Iowa.
Hello everyone, yes, ready to go as per usual, and let's go through the starting grid.
Taking pole is Andreas Ike ahead of Andrew Z. Wood. Behind them in the second row, it's Henry Bennett and John Downing with Simon Bryant and Cesar Manzato. Behind them in sixth place. In seventh place, it is the Savvy Ninja himself, Aaron Root, with Brian Carey right beside him. Followed by, behind them is Andrew Katapati and Laura Gerhardt with Jasnat Kotov in 11th, with Clark Archer in P12. Robert Plumley and Fernando Horta finish off the ending parts of the grid. The field did split, which we were talking about. This race is probably a good thing because we saw what happened at Richmond.
Yeah, absolutely, you are absolutely right, Austin. Hopefully the stream is working. It might be on a different link than the original one because of an issue that we had in the beginning. Seems like everything is working. Yeah,
it is a different link.
Yeah, apologies for that. Hopefully everything is sorted. So we are here for 160 laps. Of course, sometimes the technology doesn't want to behave nicely, you know. But it will.
Yeah, this is why we have testing usually. And speaking of testing, I was at the IndyCar test for the new air screens, and I must say these cars look fantastic with the new air screen package that they have going on. And visibility, I must say, I looked through the eyes of a driver, got into the cockpit with a camera and everything, and it doesn't really impede the vision. So when these come to iRacing, it's going to be very fun.
It is going to be absolutely fun. You know, iRacing has been very, very quick to give us the updates. The AFP, for example, has been put pretty quickly.
Or the shark fin, as everyone calls it.
Loved and hated by drivers all around iRacing. I don't care for it. I mean, it's there, very easy to get used to it. We've seen some drivers not be very used to it. By the way, quick weather report. As you can see, we are heading into night time, your favorite time, of course, Austin. So the track will change a bit. 79 degrees Fahrenheit. It will get cooler, I think, as we go deeper into the race.
It was 102 degrees in qualifying when I did that intro, and now it's dropped to 79 degrees. Well, these guys qualified on a hot track, but it's going to get into a cold track as the pace car is about to pull off. The tires are going to get burned up on the start as it's all in the hands of Andreas Ike as he leads out the field. He puts the pedal to the metal a little bit.
Wood is gone.
Wood goes down up onto the inside, collecting Simon Bryant. He spun up the tires. No caution because it was for the line, but spinning up the tires, Wood goes around and collects Simon Bryant. Disaster start to this race. I don't know if there was contact between Downing or Wood, but it was a disastrous start for Andrew Wood.
Disaster of a start. Let's get a replay very quickly because that was Brian Carey. I see disappearing momentarily from the screen. Let's have a replay. I think just a case of spinning tires. Very easy to do here in Iowa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw Downing get a good jump, and then he got onto the brakes, and I thought that was originally a hit, but no, it was just, he was caught off by that, and he started in first gear, and we've all done the mistake where we started first gear on a restart. I stay away from it, but these guys who know what they're doing, they go for it. And you just see the speed that they're going here in Iowa. Iowa always providing great racing, but you see how far they're spread out. It's looking like it's going to be a clean race, much cleaner than Richmond.
Yes, less cars, of course. Oh, look at the fight for the lead, by the way, because here comes Henry Bennett.
Bennett on the back of Ike, staying in that second line groove, trying to maximize his tire life instead of holding it all down to the inside. Tires are going to play a big part in this race. And see Ike, he likes to dive down low, and here comes Bennett. He's using that middle line. Now he's going to use that inside line and take over the lead here in Iowa. A little bit of switchback action. Here comes Ike down onto the inside. Side by side they go, heading it back into turns 1 and 2.
So Kerry and Bryant are out. Wood is back on the track, but of course his race heavily compromised. Too bad, because we lost 3 main possible protagonists of the race, but Ike and Bennett so far are really more than making up for it. Of course we are staying green. I'm expecting a lot from Downing and Kipati, Vasyakotov, of course, Archer, Cesare Manzato there, Gerhardt. I mean, all these drivers could really play a big part in the proceedings tonight, but so far great fighting here. Let's see, here we have a fight between Cesare Manzato and of course we have Archer and Vasyakotov.
And Manzato behind Clark Archer. Clark, who's been having some good races recently, was struggling for a while, but he's found his groove in the later parts of the season. And he's currently sitting in P7 behind Koltov, and that's a new name. Honestly, we haven't seen a lot this season of Yasnav Koltov. I believe this is first time we're seeing him.
I've raced against him in the fixed competition in the past. He's very quick. But yeah, I think it's the first time we've seen him in open competition, at least on Friday nights. Is that me, or there's someone with a little bit of connection issues, Austin? Because I see plumes of smoke every once in a while.
I think there might be, I'm not sure.
Oh,
going so off the exit. That is Koltov. Koltov looked out to the inside. I think he got connection with the wall from that little twitch that he's got. It's not damaged his steering at all, but very crazy exit out of turn 1, and that's allowed Clark Archer to get it past, and he kind of acted like a roadblock to Manzato. Manzato looking down the inside. Koltov holding him down there. Holding him going wide. Manzato holding down that inside still. Side by side, they're going into turn 1. Here comes Laura Gerhardt looking around the outside. And she's going to go for a sprint. She's going to get Manzato right there. Manzato's going to try to push it down, but his spotter is telling him that Gerhardt is down onto the inside. And Manzato and Koltov are still in this drag race. Laura Gerhardt doing the smart thing, just letting the boys have some fun. And then she's going to take advantage of that, because she obviously sees that Koltov is going very slow. Koltov going wide, Manzato going low, Manzato getting P7, Koltov almost switching down under, they're about to go 3 wide. Don't do that, as Gerhardt gets 1 and 2. Gerhardt down onto the inside on Manzato. Gerhardt, can she get up into P7? Side by side drag race, and they go. Heading into 3 and 4.
Man, how can you not love this track? This is absolutely fantastic racing. So now both Manzato and Gerhardt make their way past Vasyakotov. Let's see if Plumley can also get the better of the driver from the California club, if I am not mistaken. As yes. Here we go. Yeah, getting some. Gotta be careful of that yellow line, by the way. It is not good. Just like in Richmond. Here we go with Plumley on the inside.
Yeah, look at that Koltov. I think he has a tires. He's just been running that inside line this entire time, and he's probably already burned out his tires. So we're 22 laps into this race already, under 10 minutes. So that is definitely something to think about. back up front between and Bennett. And we have a message from Andrew Wood about his earlier incident. Quote, I did a dumb and let the qualifying setup in. I can't believe it. That's hard. That's sorry to hear, Andrew. I wish we got to see it in the race because it was going to be a great fight up front, but we'll see you next week. As Bennett's got a good run on Ike as it approaches some lap traffic, and we got a lot of smoke up ahead, but I believe that was a connection car that we were talking about earlier, but that smoke screen acted as a deterrent to Bennett making the move on Ike. Ike going around the outside of Horta.
Yeah, it looked for a second, Austin, like Bennett had the move, but yeah, that smoke screen really made it very, very difficult for him to be brave enough to make the move. As we are having, I don't know if it's me or iRacing in general, the servers are clapping because I have having big issues with connection stability tonight, and my connection is looking good.
Oh, Canapati looking down on the inside of Roofs. Aaron Roofs trying to hold it around the outside, put the pedal to the metal, put those tires to work. Roofs got the good exit, and he's looking down the inside. As, oh, big hit for Robert Plumley. I almost said his Twitch name. But big hit for the Grip TV cars. He heads into the pits. Robert Plumley been having a very tough racing times. Whenever he comes onto our streams, his first experience was at Spa, and that didn't end well. Riding on board with Aaron Roos in the battle for fourth, trying to hold off Arjuna Kandapati, who's made his return back to the series. And here comes Kandapati, looking down the inside, as also up at front, they're side by side. Andreas Ike holding around the outside on the bumper of Yasnav Kotov. The lap car ahead of him, getting some of that draft looking down the inside. Blue flag Speedway. Kotov almost coming down onto Ike, but he's lifting and coasting, letting them by. And back up to Aaron Roos and Canapati still side by side. Canapati holding down the inside line. He's got a good run out of 2 and 3, but Aaron Roos has got a better one with that higher line. They're equally matched, these two are, but Canapati has him on to the corner, but Roos still has him on to the straight. They can go day and night side by side with each other, but Canapati is pressing his tires as hard as he can, and they come in again! Canapati has hit Roos and hard into the wall, and we have a caution.
Oh man, that was a massive hit for Kankipati. Absolutely massive hit. Austin, I don't know, but I am having terrible lag issues, and my connection is looking good. I don't know if it's the iRacing servers or what, but cars keep disappearing, and I feel very sorry for everyone who's watching. There was a bit of that famous lag contact at the speeds these cars are driving at is absolutely impossible to avoid. And
yeah, Canapati onto the exit just comes up and just unfortunately just kept coming up, and Aaron Roos is right there. His spotter may have said that he was clear, but Canapati just drove into Aaron Roos right there. It was a big hit into the wall. That car is absolutely destroyed. Andreas Ike leading in the field. Yasnan Kotov getting his lap back. We'll see if he keeps on going, but he's the pit. Green flag pit stops here are insane. So we're going to get a yellow one first and have a good old race off the pit road. And the pit road here is kind of interesting because there's a curve in it. Clark Archer, first one out of this pit box, but Andreas Ike wins the battle off pit road ahead of Henry Bennett and John Downing, with Aaron Roos in fourth place. Very wide pit boxes, I must say, at Iowa. Very wide and long. So I don't believe we're going to be seeing any missed pit boxes. Mark, are you there?
Yes, I'm trying to be here, which is easier said than done. Because yes, my connection is the culprit, apparently.
That's very unfortunate.
Hopefully you guys can hear me now. But yeah, something is definitely not working.
Well, I can hear you, so.
Okay, so that's a good start at the very least. Yeah, I usually get 200 down and something similar up, and I'm getting 5 down. So, yep.
This stream can hear you as well. So yellow flags, yeah. Just like at Richmond, it's going to be a kind of progression, parading of the cars, and thankfully it's just 16-second laps around here at speed and 1 minute laps behind the pace car. So in green flag, we can knock down a lot of them because already within 17 minutes, we are in 38 laps, which is miles ahead of what we had at Richmond.
Yes, I mean, with less cars on the track, of course, I would expect this to be, to be less... we should have had 2 cautions, to be honest, because what happened at the start in any real-life situation is a caution, but not here. So, well, that is, of course... bad luck for all the drivers involved. After 39 laps, as we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing, we have only, if my maths are correct and the overlay helping me, yes, 7 cars on the lead lap. No lucky dogs around here, so it's a great chance for some drivers who have been there or thereabouts but missing the big result this season, the chance to bring home a good result. I'm talking about, of course, Gerhard, Manzato, Archer, Roofs. Of course, Roofs has been very close to victory last season in Indianapolis. Oh, ready to go back racing.
Yeah, they're all holding that up high line behind Andreas Ike. Can't pass around the outside if you're all the way up there as he puts his pedal down, and we go green, green, green. Back to go racing here at Iowa. It's a great jump by him. And oh, we got a car going slow. That is Fernando Horta. Horta's going slow. Horta stopped.
Massive hit.
Horta had a wheel spin, I believe, coming off the line, and he just didn't have the grip. I believe he may have crossed over the yellow line. Oh, it's strange for Horta to be going that slow, but back live, Andreas Ike and Bennett going side by side. Here comes Bennett looking down the inside of turn 3. Ike going around the outside of turn 4. We saw Aaron Roofs hold this move off for about 3 laps, but Bennett is a rocket down that inside line, and he can hold off Ike all day he wants to, because he is now your new leader here at the fastest short track in the world, Iowa Speedway.
Fantastic pass there from Andreas as from Bennett on Andreas, as Andreas looks to get moved on the outside. Downing, let's jump on board with him because he's keeping contact with these two and he has the best seat in the house to watch this great battle as the sun Looks like it's finally setting on the Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, the light should be coming too as we're heading in to my favorite time of day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's nighttime.
Well, not officially just yet.
It's gonna be nighttime. I just like saying that. But look at this battle. Bennett holding down the inside line. Ike staying with him, using this switchback tactic, using the speed that he's got up onto the exit. He can use that switchback tactic and do a little and stay up high, switch back down low, and use the speed he's getting onto the exit to cut down onto the inside of Henry Bennett. But here comes Bennett now, swinging up onto the outside to prevent Ike from even trying it. But these two are so close, almost inseparable from each other. But I wouldn't be surprised if Andreas Ike actually tries to go for the move up ahead once more. Or actually doesn't try anything and just stays to that line, because that upper high line actually saves your tires a little bit more than going down low each time. Thank you for subscribing to ApexRacingTV, Joshua Baird. Truly means a lot for all the support. Marco, what do you think of this race so far? Marco, what do you think of this race so far?
Sorry, but I cannot hear you very well.
One, two, three.
Okay.
And we're back?
No, well, very unstably, so if you, Austin, can take it away for a bit, I'll work on fixing the background.
Roger, roger. Oh my goodness. As we're still here at Iowa, Henry Bennett in the lead, followed by Andreas Ike ahead of John Downing. Everyone's kind of separated just a little bit. The battle for fourth place between Aaron Roos and Clark Archer is still tight with each other. But Henry Bennett is actually pulling away, and Andreas Ike is going slow. Andreas Ike is slowing up a lot, because here comes John Downing. But, yeah, for some reason, Andreas Ike, his last few laps have been slowing up, but been very consistent. But John Downing has started to close up on Andreas Ike, has his tires started to fall off. They're already almost 25 lap old tires. That's how fast laps here are, as we are 100 laps away from the finish here at Iowa. So it's a pretty much blink and you'll miss it race here. But the green flag runs are super insanely long here at Iowa. But when you lose tires, you will feel it.
Austin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wanna know why? and I apologize to the good folks at home watching us in the broadcast for the terrible connection. Well, it's not her fault, but my mom was cleaning, mopping the floor, no? And she opened the window, and the modem is just behind the window. So apparently, I don't know if it was the window itself or the metal inside of the inside of where it holds the glass, basically, was shielding the signal. So now, I mean, I went there, I closed the window. Well, she closed the window, and all of a sudden the connection is back to full power. So that's a first, I think.
I shouldn't be laughing right now, but
No, you should.
well, welcome back.
Of course, big hello to my mom. She's the number one.
And speaking of, guess who's back? Look at this four-way battle. 4p4. Everyone's closing in on each other. Laura Gear on the back of it to see how close they are. They were separated a lot onto that restart, but now that everyone's concerned about tire wear, they're all trying to maximize their tire life as much as they can. And Aaron Roofs is at the front, and he's pulling away. But Clark Archer, Mazzato, and Gerhard are closing all in on each other for this battle for 5th place.
There have been some weird issues for broadcast not going smoothly, but that has to be the best of them all.
Well, your power supply failing at the Indianapolis race last season, that was, that's up there.
I mean, the power supply is like more or less expected to fail on a computer, but the window opening to get, some cleaner air, some fresh air to dry the floor quickly after mopping it, it's a first.
That is a first. This is why I use wires. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you are right. That's what I do as well, but, it's a long story, but it's a long way away, my modem, so even the power line, the power cables you connect to the power outlet are not as powerful as this 5 GHz Wi-Fi, which goes to the full extension of the speed of my, and has never given me any. I can race with it no problem. The connection is super stable. It's a very clean channel here. Not many people have 5 GHz connection on their Wi-Fi, but yeah. So mystery solved. Back to racing, and we still can enjoy more or less half the race.
Yeah,
So,
back to racing. I was listening to Laura Girard, and if you listen to her going through turns 3 and 4, she's actually lifting off and shifting down. She's not putting any power onto this car going through those turns. And she just started doing that because we've been on board for a little bit while, but this is how she's struggling with the grip. She's lifting off, letting the car do its thing, and maybe, well, she's not doing it in 1 and 2. It's just in 3 and 4. That was a big lift off right there. You think some brake is also being applied?
by the way, Andrea Saik is really struggling. We have sadly we don't have any recollection because of course the live timing looks like a mess because of my connection issues earlier. The car, of course, on the left side looks okay, but is it okay on the right side? That's always a big question. I will try to get.
He's struggling with tires.
But I mean, Bennett is really flying away. 7 seconds. And that car looks clean, at least from this.
Yeah, it's clean. He's just struggling with tires, as we like to welcome Alessandro Roccatello into the chat. And, oh, that's a great message. But look how far Henry Bennett is. He's halfway across the track to Andreas Ike, brought to you by our lovely minimap. And, yeah, it looks like a velodrome match right now where they're exactly halfway across the track, and you can see above it, right in front of Henry Bennett, is Aaron Roos, Clark Archer, Mazzato, and Gerhardt, all lined up for him.
Oh yes, that's going to be tricky, of course. could be the chance for Andreas to really close the gap, and maybe have the chance to, because of course Austin, it will be not being in clean air around here. It's very advantageous. You really save a lot of tires, but of course when you are following a pack of 4 cars all fighting, those tires are going to be in a bit of a predicament later for Bennett, and maybe, just maybe, this is the chance for Ike, because we are heading for green flag stops, I would say, because there's not many cars left, but if there is no caution anymore, this could be the chance as Gerhard moves out of the way for her power slide teammate. So that's the first done. Let's see now, of course, Manzato, Archer, and Aaron Roofs are next.
This is an insane performance by Bennett. He can possibly lap the entire field, which the most we've had a field be lapped, I believe, was up to 3rd place, right?
I seem to remember that you are correct. So easy moving there past Cesare, and here we go with Clark Archer should be the next one. Of course, we were talking about with Alessandro Roccatello there, and we are waiting for him tomorrow evening on the iRacing Esports Network at Watkins Glen Classic boot for the F3.5, which is the track we will be racing next week in this series. Glen Classic boot.
Which means no bus stop.
No bus.
As ooh, look at that move up there. Laura Gearhart falling down the inside. No, wait, that's Henry Bennett.
That's
on
Bennett.
Board Gearhart.
Yeah,
Bennett actually got held up by Clark Archer.
Yeah, Archer is. I mean, of course, blue flags are only advisory around here. You are not required to follow them. Of course, if you want to be a good sport, you move away, but he's in a fight with Roofs, so he doesn't want to lose any precious time, does Archer. This is risking a bit too much maybe for Henry Bennett. The gap is still increasing, 8.5 seconds with Andreas Ike. Let's go up from the chopper, and Bennett has not been able to complete the pass there. And there is a car in front of them. That should be either Horta.
That's Aaron Roofs. And
No.
Roofs going up.
The green car.
Yeah.
That's Horta.
Yeah, that is Horta.
And this is bringing back Cesare Manzato into the equation. And of course Gerhard as well. And now really struggling. 1 second dropped by Henry Bennett.
Yeah, he's lost a second to Ike. And Bennett finally getting down to the inside and getting past Clark Archer and swinging ahead of him. He must have been a bit fuming, but no real anger coming from him. But that slow car causing a big old gaggle right there. We're going, well, objectively 3 wide down the front train. Here comes Manzato down onto the inside of Archer. But look at Gearhart swinging around the outside of Manzato now.
Great pass by Gerhard. Fantastic stuff.
What a move by Laura Gearhart. Chopping the nose of Manzato, who is struggling for grip now. Henry Bennett only has Aaron Roofs and Kotov ahead of him before he's leading this pack.
Gap now down to 6 seconds, but of course now it will be Andreas' time to get past his lappers. Of course, you want to stay in front of the leader because if the caution comes out, you are still on the lead lap. And Bennett trying to find a way past the lappers here. Of course, Kotov is... no, sorry, that is Horta, maybe? Well, Manzato is in the pits, lap 97.
That is Kotov. And they both get past him easily. We have our first green flag pit stop of Manzato. Clark Archer looking down to the inside of Gearhart to stay ahead in 5th place. Are we going to have any more green flag takers? The gap between Bennett and Ike has dropped down to 4 seconds. And here comes Bennett around the outside of Aaron Roofs. And Bennett is once again leading the pack.
Banzato was leaving the pits now. Very long stop for him. You are bound to lose a bunch of time here, a couple of laps, but he lost. He lost 2 laps.
Yeah.
Careful when rejoining.
Was a regular speed pit stop too. 8.3 seconds.
Thought for a second he got held because of a speeding, but no, he was in the clear. So we have 3 cars on the lead lap. Henry Bennett, followed by Andreas Ike, and here comes Ike as he is dealing with the traffic now of Kotov. And
that is a engine cover missing.
No, that is Horta. Okay, that is Kotov. This is Horta then. Horta has the engine cover missing then.
Yeah.
After his big hit
earlier. That is Kodov. Kodov is a number 12 car.
Oh yeah, you are right. So Horta, they have very similar liveries, and yeah, but gives away the fact that, of course, the fact that gives it away is that Kotov, as you were saying, is missing an important piece of his car. So Andreas Saik now, judging by the minimap, where we can see him, he's got to go past Gerhard, Archer, and Roofs, who are a bit behind. Sorry, a bit in front of him. So he has some time to go through some clean air, but at the same time now Bennett back into clean air and Ike back into the traffic. 7 seconds, the gap is increasing once again.
Yeah, now that Bennett is in clean air, he can fly. He can start once again flying away from Andreas. That setup he must have must be so great for tires, as everyone's starting to struggle with them, as all the battles in the field are starting to separate away, even though we have 4th, 5th, and 6th all within a second of each other in this 3.5K I rating field. And we have a car going slow. Bennett is going slow. No, that is Aaron Roofs and Bennett heading into the pits at the exact same time.
Always a tricky pit entrance around here. Let's follow them. We also have Andreas Ike join the party.
But we do have a car staying out and taking over the lead. It is John Downing.
You can follow the pit stops on the bottom of your screen and see their time cone to cone. And when the indicator is flashing, it means that they are about to enter their pit stall. And now, of course, the lap time, the timer appears in the small box. 8.8 seconds for Bennett, Andreas Saik 8.8 seconds, Aaron Roofs 9.9 seconds.
Here comes Downing.
They are like you. Oh, I saw some smoke, and it's Downing. Downing is missing a piece of his car.
Downing got into a bit of contact. I think he walked up and hit the wall. Downing got into some contact as he entered pit lane. Let's take an instant replay. Got onto the yellow line.
Oh.
Big lockup. Oh!
How did we stay green? It's a mystery. And he will have to take some repairs. And of course, that's going to cost him time, and hopefully he doesn't have any suspension damage.
But the new leader of Clark, Archer, is now in the pit lane with Laura Gearhart right behind him. Henry Bennett is, though, on the same lap and has retaken the lead ahead of Andreas Ike with Laura Gearhart in 3rd place. Aaron Roofs, though, he is on the run. He can steal 3rd place right now.
Let's see Gerhard coming out to the pits. Archer, of course, but Roofs has the speed.
He's in 4th, and he's in 3rd. Aaron Roofs, undercut pit strategy. That was a chaotic pit exit for Gearhart and Archer, as they had to make way for those two. And Downing
gets suspension damage. Long stop for Downing.
Oh yes,
by the way,
be a long stop.
In the pit cycle, Ike maybe had some damage to his car, maybe some front wing damage, not because it was a quick stop. Whatever, in the pit cycle, he gained 4 seconds on Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett was very cautious.
Oh, dear me!
For Bennett! Bennett's in the gas fence! Bennett
And we
has
stay
lost the
green.
wing, and how the heck are we still green?
And that was the ultimate commentator's curse. Poor Andreas Ike into the fence, into the pits. Massive damage to that car. Roofs in second. Manzato is in third. Let's follow this fight, and then we'll get to a replay very quickly.
The entire field has been lapped. And we still have 50 laps to go.
Okay, here it had already happened, so apologies. Let's see where we can
On board
pinpoint.
with Ike. Side by side with Roofs. Slide and big hit. I don't believe Aaron Roofs got any contact with there.
This is the wrong replay. Yeah, let's check it once again from Roof's perspective, if we can. So you should hear on the left side coming.
Nice, right there. Here comes the slide.
No, he's okay. He's okay. Damage popped back, and we have a fantastic fight here between Gerhard Manzato. This is the fight for the final step on the... I told you it could have been a great race for an outsider. Well, I don't mean outsider as in a disrespectful way. I mean it.
Look at Archer.
Ooh, Archer.
Look at Archer.
Of Gerhard.
Archer. Great move up onto the inside ahead of Gerhard.
I mean, a podium for any of these guys would be a great achievement, and I would say a great repayment for all their big efforts they've made during the season, especially Gerhard, Archer, and Roofs. Manzato doesn't race often with us, but he did some races in the past. I remember him racing with us in Detroit, in Belle Isle, and he certainly will love to get on the podium. Keeping eye, of course, the Italian flag, number 2 rated car of the field, but he's mainly a road guy. He's of course doing his best on the oval, and so far doing a good job. But you are right, Henry Bennett, apologies, is first and has 1 lap on everyone else. What a crazy race, what a quick race also, by the way, as we say thanks to PTHO 7800 or PTI Joe 7800. I don't know which part of the world you are from, so hopefully I didn't butcher your name both in Spanish and in English.
I think I'm not even gonna attempt that. But thank you for subscribing to us here at Apex Racing TV as we look on board the battle for third place between Archer, Manzato, and Laura Gerhard, who's fallen off the back of this fight pretty much. And now it's just Archer and Manzato as John Downing is back on track.
Look how much he has to steer to make that thing turn.
Yeah.
Front left looks completely gone.
Dead.
So,
The toe in on the front left is just kinked in. We're riding on board Clark Archer, trying to chase down the Italian Cesar Manzato. And that's John Downing going slow up there ahead of him, but he's staying onto that up high line, so we don't have to worry about him holding up Clark Archer at all. Downing, one of those guys that will never give up in a race unless he is told that it is impossible to continue on, which is very respectable, I must say. And Aaron Roos is going slow. Aaron Roos, he had a big old gain ahead of him, but now he's going slow. No damage that I can see on that car. But here comes Manzato and Archer, and they're gaining tooth and nail. Here comes Manzato being pressured down onto the inside line. We saw Aaron Roos defend a lot with that outside line advantage. Can he still do it for P2? Side by side they go. Here comes Clark Archer. He's seeing this fight. We might have some drafting fights happening as Aaron Roos is getting a big old run out of 3 of 4. And here comes Clark Archer now.
Such important to have good momentum around here. Manzato looked to have fantastic speed, but now look at Archer zooming past him. And here comes Geralt once again. So this fight is not over just yet. I think, because the car looks clean, that Aaron might have had just a moment, maybe slightly clipping that dreaded yellow line there somewhere, and he slowed down significantly. As I tell you what, on the back end of this train, a certain number 1 car is about to join.
Yeah, you see that car in the background coming out of 3 and 4? That's Henry Bennett. You know, why not lap the entire field one time? Let's do it again. And Clark Archer makes a move up onto the inside to get P2. Here at I-1, he's going to swing ahead of Aaron Roos and cut him off.
Man, I love the sun shining on this red/orange metallic car of Clark Archer. Absolutely fantastic. You will see it now as we enter turn 1. Look at that beautiful reflection. So the lights are still not on, so it's not nighttime. I'm very sorry, Austin. And judging by the way Henry Bennett is pushing, I doubt they will have a chance to turn them on, the guys here at Iowa Speedway.
Heck, he is the light here. On board Mazzato. Behind Aaron Roos. And I think Roos had that great run, but now he's out of his tires because they went into the pits 30 laps ago. And
oh, here we go.
Manzano looking down to the inside, can't hold it off. And I believe Manzano had a little bit of a glitch in the timing system because it said he went into the pits on lap 35. Which wasn't the case.
No. 100, lap 95. He was the first guy to stop, remember, under green flag.
Yes.
So 95 is the correct number. So his tires might fall off in a bit. By the way, how much will Henry want to be involved in this? Of course, Laura is his teammate. So he doesn't want to disrupt her fight, I would imagine. No need to risk because he can see the guy in second place just in front of him.
John Downing's going slow as well, but that was a big slide from Manzano. Gerhardt going down the inside, 3 wide in turns 3. And side by side they go, Manzano and Gerhardt in this battle for 4th. Here comes Henry Bennett now.
Man, Austin, I tell you what, it's not been the cleanest of races. We don't have a lot of cars on the lead lap, but what an exciting race. Fantastic fight for the podium.
We don't have much cars on lead lap? Yeah.
We
just have one.
We just have one. Yeah, that was the understatement of the century. Yeah, and I apologize. I'm just very happy and relieved that I was able to fix. Well, I was not. My mom was able to unfix and then fix the connection for me. There's nothing that scares me more of an unknown technical problem when I stream. It's my recurring nightmare.
My recurring nightmare is monkeys. Freak me out, man.
Well, the other night I had a dream that my dog was stolen by Vladimir Putin, so...
If you want to know what it takes to be a commentator,
you don't have to be right in the head. You have to be some missing nuts.
There's nothing wrong with us. As Henry Bennett gets past Aaron Roos very easily. They're behind Kodov right now because I believe Horta is still on track. That is
Horta because he has the engine cover. I think.
No, Horta has a green car. That's Kodov.
He got his engine cover repaired then. And here comes Gerhardt. And here comes Manzato. No!
Oh my goodness!
Oh jeez, what a crash!
Manzato taking a two-wheeled ride up onto the wall. Laura Gerhardt hitching around on top of Aaron Rufus, who I thought Aaron Rufus was going to be totally fine up there. Unfortunately, he got pushed into the wall and he was stuck there. Laura Gerhardt absolutely got destroyed, but Cesar Manzato got thrown up into the air as we are 10 laps away from the finish as the pace car finally gets past Henry Bennett. But what a incident we've just witnessed here today.
Austin,
And Henry Bennett.
have you ever?
No, I've never seen that.
I mean, the way the cars were on top of each other in iRacing, I have never seen anything like it. Let's get to the replay.
That is the most insane incident I've ever seen. Aaron Roos looking down the inside, Manzato gets into the side of Gerhardt, and Gerhardt just got planted on.
And that car. I will have to talk to Cesare because let's go on board with him. Because he had a tank slapper probably coming out of this corner.
No, he just tried to force an issue, and then did he floor it? You know, it's like that. It's like the centrifugal circuit. You can ride the wall in the centrifugal circuit. That's what happened there. But I've never seen that happen. A big hit. Hello, Laura. And then that was a nasty hit. A very peculiar hit, I must say.
And Aaron Roofs got like planted in the wall at this point. He got,
he got planted
and decapitated. I mean, thankfully, only virtually. That's why we need the aero screen, by the way.
Yes, the aero screen is needed here on iRacing, though it doesn't do much for.
He's back on the lead lap.
He stayed out. He didn't go into the pits.
I mean, he doesn't need to go to the pits because third, fourth, and fifth probably will not.
2 laps down.
And probably
third, fourth, and fifth
are destroyed.
Third, fourth, and fifth are out of the race.
So Vashan Kotov and John Downing with a fantastic chance to make it to the podium.
Downing's a lap down. Downing is a lap down of Kotov. Kotov could make his debut and win the race mathematically if he just stays going, because Manzato, Gerhardt, and Roofs are now getting passed right here. But it looks like Roofs, they just swapped spots.
And of course, Horta is 1 lap behind Downing, so Archer will stay out, and everyone will take a wave around. So that, because there's no one behind Henry Bennett. So everyone will take the wave around. No, will they? Because we are less than 10 laps to go. Yes, they will.
No, yeah.
I think everyone in front gets the wave around, everyone behind the leader, if he's lapped down, gets sent to the back, but there is no one to send to the back. Oh dear.
Henry Bennett, the leader, is at the back.
We have seen some crazy stuff in Richmond, but this is, if possible, even crazier. I mean,
we've seen crazy stuff here. This is the most peculiar finish we're ever going to witness to a race.
So is Archer the first of the lappers? No, because so Archer will not start second. Oh, wait, that's going to be.
What is happening? The lights have gone out on the pace car, and here comes the lapped cars going past. Is Clark Archer going to go? Yes, he is.
But it will be behind everyone else. I think all of the lappers will stay in front of him because he's a wave around.
I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares.
Well, he could have theoretically fight for the win, but well, we don't know if there's a caution. So Manzato, by the way, is still third because Kotov is still 5 laps down.
Yeah, he's got one more lap with 5 laps to go, and Alan and Aaron Roos is absolutely upset after that, and I would be because Manzano had no room to force that incident. And Bennett going up to the top line. Nobody's on your lap except for Archer, who is 4 cars behind you. But we're going green flag racing. 5 laps to go here at Iowa to end off the night. Bennett, Archer, Konoff, your top 3.
Archer praying for a very quick caution, because if it comes too late, we will not restart. Bennett just has to take it super easy. He's got fresh tires. Archer does not. So all the other fights are basically fights between cars on track and cars in the pits, as Cesare Manzato slides down to 5th. Horta will be the next one. You see what we always say, persevering is important. Archer stayed out and will get 2nd, but Kotov, Downing and Horta continued with damaged race cars, and they will be able to bring home surprising, I'd say, top 5 given the circumstances. 3 laps to go for Henry Bennett. Archer is just cruising around, doesn't want to take any unnecessary risks, and so is everyone else, because Kotov is 1 lap ahead of Downing and 1 lap ahead of Downing. Downing is 1 lap ahead of Horta, and they are both 5, 6, 7 laps back to the 2 race leaders, as lap 159 is on the clock right now. 3 and 4 for Henry Bennett, and even in this race, even though it seems like crazy, sale la blanca for Henry Bennett.
Last lap for Bennett and Archer, but Bennett is miles ahead of Clark Archer as he comes through 3 and 4 and takes the most dominating win of the season. I would say an entire lap ahead of everybody, but no. Clark Archer stayed out and jumped everybody, going up 10 spots. Your biggest mover of the race, Clark Archer, takes P10. And the biggest surprise, I would say, is Yasnav Kotov, driver who was missing his entire rear engine cap at one point in the race, finishes on the podium. But taking the win, it's Henry Bennett ahead of Clark Archer, with Yasnav Kotov debuting and finishing P3 ahead of John Downing, with Fernando Horta finishing in P5 ahead of Manzano, who unfortunately caused that incident ahead of Gerhardt and Aaron Roos, with Andreas Ike, Andre Catapati, Robert Plumley, Wood, who had that scary start that unfortunately took out Steiner Brian, and Brian Carey, who I believe retired on his own due to connection issues.
But yeah, I'm trying to look at what happened to Brian, but I cannot find it. But yeah,
I think he just disconnected on his own.
Yeah, in the very beginning of the race. I mean, what can you say, Austin? Is one of them races, as you guys, I think, would say.
Yes, it definitely was one of those races that we're not going to really see a lot here. Richmond was caution riddled. This one was dominance riddled.
Can I say something? We had 26 cars in Richmond and many cautions, but no crash in Richmond has been bigger than the 3-car pileup we've had here. Like, we had single car spins, people spinning out of 2 in Richmond, but it was mostly single car crashes. But the drivers managed to have the biggest wreck of the 2 races combined, when there were like 7 cars left on track. It was crazy.
We had cars spinning around at Richmond, just unable to handle the bumps. Here we had cars mounting each other.
And I am afraid no one will come for an interview after a race like this.
No. We
have the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the winner with us. Please welcome the one, the only, Henry Bennett.
Hello.
So, Henry, you had the entire field lapped, and we're going for 2 laps down on the next car behind you. And I pretty much want to say you lapped the entire field, but Clark Archer stayed up onto the lead lap by staying out. Smart move, I must say, by him. But he did finish the second. But yeah, I'm just going to say you lapped the entire field and you won the race. What wizard did you visit to make your setup?
We've had a good setup here for quite a while now, so luckily the package at Iowa hasn't changed too much, so we can still run that setup. And yeah, we did have a bit more push than we expected this week, but yeah, with a small field. Lapping and the really short lapping the field isn't really a big deal here. 16 seconds. It's not, especially when you get long green runs. As far as Clark Archer, I mean, we were coming to the end, and then the end of a stint on our tires at the end there. So, and with everyone behind me separated by a lap, I was trying to advise people to change tires because it's very very easy to spin on old tires on a restart. So,
We saw the spin on old tires spin at the start from Aaron Wood. Did you see that happen in your rearview mirror? What was happening? What was going through your mind? Was anything said on voice?
Andrew actually said before the race, just as we were going to green, that he'd forgotten to load the race set. So that would explain his spin. But yeah, I just have to thank my lucky stars that he only just avoided me. I'm like watching him replay now, and yeah, there's maybe a car's width, and I would have been collected by it as well. But yeah, that's really unfortunate for him because he had the same strong car as Andreas today. But yeah, really bad for Andreas too, disconnecting there. He would have been a guaranteed P2 and yeah, put up a nice fight on the early in the race.
It certainly was a very chaotic and peculiar race. Probably the weirdest race we either of us have seen here on Apex Racing TV. But it was very fast, I must say. Just under an hour.
Yeah, these short tracks can be like that. If you get long green runs, they go by really fast. And
Like Richmond.
Yeah, I mean that can go fast, but cautions are quite frequent.
Yes, Marco. Do you have any questions for Henry?
What is his what are his expectations for Watkins Glen next week?
Well, hopefully a bigger field. But yeah, I expect strong competition there. Hopefully I can get a podium. I love the track. Done well there in the past. Had a few good races and bad races there. So hopefully it goes well.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, Henry. Congrats on another win here. And we'll see you next week. And you have a good night. And before we let you go, anyone you want to shout out?
Well, the power slide guys. We had 4 cars in the race today, but unfortunately, Laura was taken out just before the end. Arjuna's and Brian are quite new to ovals, so short ovals can be a bit of a learning curve. So Arjuna was out quite early, and Brian had a connection issue. So big shout out to them and everyone else that wasn't running for all their setup work.
All right. Thank you, Henry Bennett. I believe we are trying to get Clark Archer in here right now. So we'll give that 1 second, and then he'll hop in here very soon. But Marco, any words to close out the race as we kill time for Clark? There he is.
See, no need to kill time. It's all yours.
No. He's all yours.
No. It's all yours.
No. He's all yours.
Hello, Clark. Welcome to the booth, man. What a crazy race.
Hey, guys. Nice to be here. Yeah, that was a crazy race. So much traffic.
And in the end, you managed to finish second with... I have to say that the fight that you guys had for the podium was absolutely fantastic. But at a certain point, it looks like you were able to pull away from, Cesare Manzato, Laura Gerhardt, and of course Aaron Roof. So what was, in your opinion, the decisive moment when you had that extra bit of pace towards the middle of the race after the pit stops?
I that was just time to go. I just kind of rode behind Aaron there. I saw Arjuna. He drove side by side for like 10 laps before wrecking, so I decided to take it easy until about 50 laps to go, and then try to move.
And so yeah, there were plenty of crashes. I think you managed to stay away with your car very clean, which is always a bonus. So that's not an easy task to accomplish. Let's say that next week we are in a completely different environment in Watkins Glen. What are your hopes for that particular event?
For Watkins Glen, I did a lot of the Open Series or the Fixed Series race there this week. So my hopes are to try to hang on to Henry Bennett's wing and finish one spot behind him. That's the goal.
Awesome, Clark. Very, very good second place finish. Before we let you go, anyone you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Pure Driving School. I've been working on their telemetry and sets all season. It's really helped. And shout out to my Apex Racing Group team, because those guys are also helping me on the oval side. Really appreciate it.
Awesome, Clark. Nice having you in the booth. Congratulations once again on the podium, and we'll catch you hopefully next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right, and that is going to wrap up our broadcast here at Iowa, as they both just decide to just blow up and leave out of the Discord. I wanted to talk to them after the race, but whatever. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We had Marco controlling all your wonderful camera streams, telemetry, graphics, fancy wizard stuff that I really can't do that well. With me in the booth, Marco, you're awesome as always. I'm Austin, and I hope y'all have a good night. And now the lights turn on.